Hey there. Welcome back to English Listening Tips. With me, Emma. I'm so excited you're here today because we're diving into something super practical that's going to transform your English fluency journey. Have you ever had that moment where you're talking to a native English speaker and they use a phrase that leaves you completely lost? You understood every individual word, but together they made absolutely no sense? Laughs. I've been there too when learning other languages, and it's the worst feeling. Well, today is your lucky day because I'm sharing my favorite everyday English phrases that native speakers use constantly, but that textbooks never teach you. These are the expressions I hear in coffee shops, at work meetings, on TV shows. They're the secret sauce that will make your English sound natural and help you connect with native speakers. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because this channel is all about giving you those insider tips that take your English from textbook formal to confidently conversational. Let's dive into these essential everyday English phrases, and I'll explain not just what they mean, but how and when to use them naturally. Let's start with, how's it going? This is the casual equivalent of how are you? But it feels so much more natural in everyday situations. The beauty of this phrase is its versatility. You can use it with friends, colleagues, or even the barista at your local coffee shop. When someone asks you, "How's it going?" they're not usually expecting a detailed account of your life. A simple, "Pretty good, thanks," works perfectly. Or if you want to sound even more native-like, try "can't complain." This response has this wonderful understated quality that English speakers love. It basically says, "Life is good enough that I have no reason to complain," without sounding overly enthusiastic. Another greeting phrase I absolutely love is, "Long time no see." I find the structure of this phrase fascinating because it's actually grammatically incorrect if you analyze it, but it's become completely standard. It's what you say when reconnecting with someone you haven't seen in weeks or months. It immediately creates a warm atmosphere by acknowledging your shared history. After greeting someone you haven't seen in a while, the natural follow-up is, "What have you been up to?" This question is asking about recent activities or life updates. It's much more natural than directly asking, "What did you do recently?" The phrase "up to" suggests ongoing activities and gives the other person freedom to share whatever highlights they choose from their recent life. When someone mentions information about you that you didn't tell them, "How do you know?" is your go-to response. It's not accusatory, it's simply expressing surprise and curiosity. For example, if someone congratulates you on a promotion you haven't mentioned, this phrase lets you find out where they heard the news. I find that appreciating others' contributions to a conversation is essential for building rapport. When someone tells a good joke or shares an insightful comment, saying "that's a good one" acknowledges their wit or wisdom. The word "one" here refers to their joke, story, or idea. This phrase is much more engaging than just saying "that's funny" or "that's interesting." When someone does something helpful, "that's very kind of you," expresses gratitude with a touch of warmth that goes beyond a simple "thank you." It explicitly acknowledges the person's kindness as a character trait, which makes it feel more personal. I've noticed people light up when they hear this phrase because it recognizes not just their action, but their intention. Sometimes people try to help but can't solve your problem. In these situations, "thank you anyway" is perfect. The "anyway" acknowledges their effort even though the outcome wasn't successful. It's a small addition that makes a big difference in how appreciative you sound. In emails or messages where you're asking for help, ending with "thank you in advance" creates a subtle expectation that the person will help you. Psychology studies show that when you thank someone before they've actually done anything, they become more likely to follow through. Just be careful not to overuse this one, as it can come across as presumptuous in certain contexts. When someone apologizes for a minor mistake, "no worries," immediately puts them at ease. This phrase originated in Australian English but has become universal. It's more casual and warm than "it's okay" or "it's fine." When you say "no worries," you're essentially saying, "this isn't even worth worrying about," which minimizes the perceived mistake. For someone feeling hurt by criticism or rejection, "don't take it to heart" offers emotional support. This beautiful idiom suggests that taking something to heart means allowing it to affect your deepest feelings. By advising against this, you're suggesting that the issue isn't worth deep emotional investment. It's a compassionate way to help someone gain perspective. The simple phrase, "things happen," carries profound philosophical wisdom in just 2 words. When something goes wrong, this expression normalizes the mistake or mishap by framing it as part of the natural flow of life. It's similar to saying "c'est la vie" in French or "that's life," but with an emphasis on the randomness and inevitability of occasional problems. When someone is disproportionately upset about something relatively minor, "it's not worth it" helps them reassess their emotional investment. This phrase is about value and proportion. You're suggesting that the amount of emotional energy they're spending exceeds the importance of the issue. I find this phrase particularly useful for helping friends through relationship dramas or work conflicts. In confusing situations, "what's going on here" helps you gather information without sounding accusatory. The "here" makes it specific to the current situation rather than asking broadly about someone's life. This phrase works whether you walk into a surprise party or an unexpected meeting at work. When checking your understanding of someone's message, "did I get you right?" sounds more conversational than formal alternatives like "did I understand correctly?" It shows you're engaged and want to make sure you've interpreted their meaning accurately. The phrase puts the responsibility on your understanding rather than their explanation, which feels less confrontational. Missing part of what someone said happens to everyone, especially in noisy environments or on phone calls. Saying, I didn't catch that" is honest without suggesting you weren't paying attention. The word "catch" creates a metaphor of words as objects being thrown your way, some of which you might miss. It's a playful and effective way to ask for repetition. There are also times when you genuinely weren't listening. In these situations, honesty works best. "Sorry, I wasn't listening," followed by "could you repeat that?" shows respect by acknowledging your lapse in attention rather than pretending. I've found people appreciate this honesty much more than obvious fake attention. After an interruption in conversation, "you were saying" helps return focus to the person who is speaking. This phrase shows respect for their thoughts and signals that you value what they were sharing. It's much more elegant than saying "continue" or "go on," which can sound commanding. And finally, when you suddenly understand something that was previously confusing, "oh, that explains it," signals your moment of comprehension. The "oh" at the beginning marks the moment of realization, making this phrase perfect for those light bulb moments in conversation. Now, here's my practical advice for incorporating these phrases into your English. Start by choosing just 3-4 phrases that you think you'll use most often. Trying to use all of them at once will feel overwhelming and unnatural. I suggest beginning with greeting phrases since they come up in nearly every interaction. Next, create memory triggers for yourself. For example, put a note on your phone to use "how's it going" instead of "how are you" when greeting colleagues. These small reminders help build new language habits. The most important tip I can give you is to listen for these phrases when watching English language shows or YouTube videos. When you hear them in context, pause and repeat them out loud to help your brain and mouth become familiar with them. Here's your challenge for this week. Choose 3 phrases from today's episode and use them in real conversations. Then come back and comment below telling me which ones you used and how it went. I promise it will make your English sound so much more natural. So there you have it. Everyday English phrases that will instantly make your English sound more authentic and help you connect better with native speakers. Remember, fluency isn't just about grammar and vocabulary. It's about sounding natural. And these phrases are your shortcut to sounding more like a native speaker. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button and share it with a friend who's learning English. Next week, we'll be talking about understanding fast English speech, because we all know native speakers talk way too quickly sometimes. Until next time, this is Emma from English Listening Tips, reminding you that small, consistent practice makes perfect. Keep listening, keep speaking, and I'll catch you in the next episode.